and I looked into how much money is going into Columbia's new trash program and how that compares to surrounding cities. This is KMU8 News at 10. Around 3:30 today, we learned that the Columbia Boone County Health Department has extended its current COVID-19 health order, but there will be a few modifications. People are already showing up to claim their spot at the upcoming school board meeting. Now, it's almost been 1 year since Columbia Public Schools went to virtual learning. Ryan Fayel could not afford to be out of work for 3 months. And it all ends up here at Columbia's landfill, where workers are bringing in waste from 7 to 4 p.m. And as you can see behind me, that's a lot of trash. Booneville Fire Department is still actively here on the scene. In the last hour, I talked with the fire chief. These students were split. One of them attends here at Rockbridge High School and refuses to return to in-person learning. Emily, I followed Tiger Towing on part of their route today, and they told me if we take a look under the hood here, that dead batteries are at the top of the list.
The road conditions were pretty bad.
Winter weather is causing hazardous conditions across mid-Missouri. It's pushing drivers to be patient.
I hit a sheet of black ice and I slid off the road about 10 to 20 feet.
And if things go wrong, there needs to be someone to pull cars back to safety. Tiger Towing has responded to double the number of calls compared to a normal day.
Primarily what we do is, this kind of weather, there's a lot of jump starts, batteries go pretty flat pretty quick. And recoveries, people sliding off.
On Monday, Tiger Towing responded to a car that slid off of West Broadway near Scott Boulevard.
I would just recommend just taking your time and don't go out unless it's absolutely necessary.
The Missouri State Highway Patrol advises to stay off the roads because of the extreme cold, more snow, and high winds.
And hopefully people will understand that the road conditions aren't safe at the moment and they take precautions as well.
Just drive slow and be cautious and just prepare for the worst, just stay off your phones and pay attention to the road conditions and listen to the news reports and weather.
A push to stay home, from tow truck drivers pulling drivers out of trouble. Debates also told me that it's a good reminder in a Missouri state law when you see an emergency vehicle to be in the lane farthest to the left. That way everyone stays safe out there. Live in Columbia, Lauren Schwentker, KMU8 News. The COVID-19 numbers are shocking, but it's easy to get lost in the numbers. Yesterday, I sat down with James Hildebrand, husband to Han Sim, who recently passed from COVID-19. He shared with me her impact on the community. In late September, Han Sim began experiencing back pain. It turned out that she had COVID-19.
She was getting weaker every day. We sat in that emergency room for 9 hours that day, waiting for ICU.
Sim had type 2 diabetes, so she was high risk, but fought a tough battle. It is a too common COVID-19 story, things looking better than not. Sim went into cardiac arrest in late November.
I knew I did everything. Everything to keep her, and her body just got tired.
She and her husband coined the term, the garden, at their local farmer's market.
Sim was always out front, being the greeter, the person that smiled real big.
Together, they were a hit.
Her family was in Korea, but she made her family here.
Sim was also very involved at the Korean Baptist Church. Hildebrand told me the garden was so much a shining part of her life.
Her dedication. She'd go out at midnight, wake up, go out at midnight, check on the irrigation.
The two loved their time at the farmer's market.
We did it to give back, and we always considered it better than a lot of different occupations in the sense that we gave back to people.
There's already talk of creating a memorial at the farmer's market. We'll be right back. At the beginning of February, the city of Columbia threw out their old trash system and brought in a new pay-as-you-throw program.
I really feel like it's a pay-for-our mismanagement program.
Anita Brown lives with 6 family members, and the new system is adding extra cost. Her 6-month supply will be done within the next 3 months, and then she will need to pay $2 a bag extra.
This is thinking about how they're going to just make more money so that they can kind of put a little Band-Aid over the mismanagement.
City-issued trash bags are not new to Columbia. For years, the city has issued 50 bags per year, but now the city is requiring to use them and is issuing 104 33-gallon bags. This averages 2 bags a week for the year.
I really feel disappointed because I feel like Columbia is trying to sell it as a pay-as-you-throw program. But if that were the case, then the people that only have one trash would have a lower utility bill.
I know people can be unhappy. There's people that are unhappy at times with the service that we're getting or that we as a city are providing, but we do it at cost.
The city solid waste manager, Steve Hunt, explained to me the new system is based on cost and that the city is not making any real revenue.
I think there's a misconception sometimes that we so-called make money, and that's not the case at all. There is no money made.
And it all ends up here at Columbia's landfill, where workers are bringing in waste from 7 to 4 p.m. And as you can see behind me, that's a lot of trash. We compared our trash services to neighboring cities, like Moberly, which uses a private contractor through Waste Management, like Ashland and Jefferson City as well, which use a private contractor through Republic Waste Services.
If you have a private company, they're not going to do it for cost. They're going to do it to make money. If you look at what Jeff City pays for trash or Moberly pays for trash, they're more expensive than what we are.
If you break down cost per person or single-family household for both trash and recycling, Columbia charges $17.37 monthly for 66 gallons a week. Jefferson City charges $16.98 monthly for 65-gallon roll carts. Moberly charges $16.67 monthly for 65-gallon roll carts. And Ashland charges $12.11 monthly and uses a set amount of 95-gallon carts. We circled back with Hunt, who told me Columbia's philosophy is to be a full-service city. I asked if a private company would ever be feasible.
There's been talk over the years about privatizing the refuse collection in Columbia, especially in around the 2015-16 timeframe when we started to struggle with staffing.
At the end of the day, Anita Brown is struggling with her supply of bags and demands that the city listens to her frustrations.
Really take their citizens into account and look at the demographics of the city and realize that this is not working.